Hey, all you metal mixers. It's your old pal Gen X and
Dark J.
how you guys doing this Tuesday evening? Yeah, Tuesday
Tuesday.
evening. God,
Yeah.
time is flying by. Time is of the essence.
It is.
God.
Wow.
Oh, did you have a good Monday night?
I did.
Yeah, we were up late. We were editing this the prior video. If you
Yeah.
haven't caught it, it was about Badlands.
Yes.
It turned out really good.
It did.
I think, yeah. I think we
absolutely.
really went in depth about Badlands and our least favorites, our favorites, and whatnot. So, yeah,
Yeah.
I absolutely loved it. So, hope you guys had a good Monday night. And without further ado, let's get into today's video.
Yes.
We're going to cover just a little bit of like tour news, metal news, and some other things. A new release from Metal Blade and a new release from Frontier.
Yeah.
So the metal news is there's two things of note. Twisted Sister announced that they're going to do 4 dates coming up in the fall. Only 4
Yes.
though.
Only 4. Yeah.
Yeah, there's 2 in Canada, 2 here in the U.S. One is in Texas, one is in, I believe, Arkansas,
Mm-hmm.
and then the 2 are in Ontario.
Yeah.
There's one in Niagara Falls. I'd love to catch that, but you got to get your passport
Yeah.
to do that.
Right.
So that would be one. I believe that one's October 12th.
Yeah, I believe
So there's
yeah.
a lot of shows coming up around that time, so you just
Right.
got to pick and choose the dates. But that's one of note. I just wanted to let you know. And the second one, well, it's not even here. They always play the good shows overseas.
Of course.
August 5th or 6th, this band, Crimson Glory and Wings of Steel, are doing a co-headlining show.
Yeah.
When I saw that, I was like, oh my God, why don't they ever bring these shows over here? So I suggested to Wings of Steel, amongst others,
Mm-hmm.
to bring that show over here. So we shall see.
Yeah.
They are really catching some good vibes. So we shall see. So to be continued for Wings of Steel and Crimson Glory. Good luck, guys. I'm glad that you have come that far
Yeah.
for an independent band.
Absolutely,
So
yeah.
today we're going to talk about a Metal Blade release, single or a song, and one that came out yesterday from Frontier.
Frontier, yeah.
So without further ado, let's get into the Metal Blade one. That's from the band. Which band was it? 6 Feet
6
Under?
Feet Under, yeah.
Yeah, what'd you think of it?
It's not bad.
I mean, what is your honest opinion of that whole... You told me some things, and
Yeah.
really, what do you think about
I mean,
it?
honestly, I'm not a huge fan of 6 Feet Under, but I do love Chris Barnes' vocals when he was in Cannibal Corpse back in the day. And my friend got me into 6 Feet Under when he went over there.
Right.
And I think it was the first 2 albums. I can't remember the titles of them. I think one of them was called Haunted. I just can see the album cover in my head.
Okay.
Yeah, it was decent. It was different. But, like I said, I grew up with, the more brutal death metal style of Cannibal Corpse from back in the day.
Yeah.
But, it's not a bad track, the new one that they just posted.
Yeah, I think the
Yeah.
last one that they did was a little bit better.
Yeah.
I would still go see him out on tour, even though I wouldn't be up front. You know how I told you.
Right, yeah.
Slammed in the pit.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I'm too old for that.
Right.
But, it's interesting to see these bands still, doing really good and everything, despite what's been going on. Places, venues are closing left and right. The state of metal is kind of at one of those do or die, situations,
Yeah.
So labels like Metal Blade and kudos and love out to them because they've been very kind to our channel and everything. So I do
Yeah.
appreciate Metal Blade by far. The other, like Frontier, they cover more, I'm not saying commercial like the glamour bands, but the lighter side of metal.
Yeah.
They're more, a lot of the bands that Frontier covers are more European bands.
Mm-hmm.
And they do cover bands here, but you got to remember it's a whole different scene over in Europe.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
why metal has never really gone away like it has here.
Right.
The
right.
record labels just wanted to sink everything here.
Yeah.
And all they push is that rap shit and that country shit.
Yeah.
Or that pop shit. Guys, what I'm talking about. You know, 30 years have gone by and our music has never come to the forefront. They pushed this on countless generations of this garbage that, in my opinion, I think brainwashes a lot of people.
It does, yeah.
You know,
I
it
agree.
doesn't make people think you're a brainless dolt, you know, listening to this shit. I mean, I've heard so many people, they're like, well, I listen to Little Uzi Vert. I listen to Lil Nas X, or what is their name in country? Well, not the Red Clay Strays, because they're actually pretty good. There's just artists that are in the country music realm, you guys, and then they do these crossovers with these rap artists in country.
Yeah.
They've infiltrated the system to where Rainey Wilson, her name is.
Okay.
And I'm watching, you know, this is a couple months back, and she's at the CMAs. It's just the CMAs and the Grammys are all one and the same, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm getting off topic here, but it's the truth. Metal needs to come back, and as long as we have brainless dolts listening, and I mean that with all sincerity. I don't mean to call people out on the carpet, but when you have younger people listening to this bullshit music, you're never going to have metal back. Unless you listen to metal and your children listen to metal, or the kids are raised around metal, they're just going to listen to the bullshit that they're trying to push, you know? And I've been very vocal about that, and I'm more open about it now than ever before.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
But Frontier, getting back to Frontier, the one that I wanted to cover was the band called Confess.
Yes.
And that song was
The Warriors?
The Warriors,
yeah.
Warriors, come out to play. Anyways, it reminded me, and I'm not kidding, it reminded me of Monkey Business from Slave to the Grind by Skid Row.
Skid Row, yep.
Their singer should definitely look into calling up Skid Row, beside me, and trying out for Skid Row.
Yeah.
He would make, honestly, I mentioned Nick Walsh from Slick Toxic, which I doubt very much that that's going to happen, because he's doing the conservatory over in Toronto. But what's funny is that whole song, and we looked at the comments. A lot of the comments were calling them either Skid Row or Motley Crue, which I didn't get the Motley Crue connection at all
I
to
didn't
that
either.
song.
No.
You know.
But what's funny was when we watched the video and listened to the song for the first couple times, I'd go back and rewind it. And right at the beginning, it had that 4 count on the cowbell, and it just sounded just like Monkey Business.
Yeah, it sounded like Rob Alfuso playing the cowbell. In the beginning of Monkey Business.
Yeah.
So it's kind of one of those songs where it's like you have to look past a lot of things, and you know who their influence is.
Oh, yeah.
And I give credit to the guys, they're trying.
Yeah.
You know, they're twirling the sticks, they're doing the headbanging and stuff. But you know what was interesting about them, and I have noticed this a lot about the bands lately, a lot of them, I talked to you about that. I call myself a glam thrasher.
Yeah.
Okay, I've been doing it for years. I've always worn stuff like this, or I'll wear like a Steel Panther t-shirt, or, the lighter side of metal, but you'll see me decked out in an Exodus sweatshirt and the whole black and the whole 9 yards. Like for thrash bands. Because I really don't care. I don't care that people, you're a poser or whatever the case. No, I'm not. I'm stay true to what I believe in.
Yep.
I love all the metal bands. I'm not going to say one is better than the other. I have my favorites. I have my least favorites.
Yep.
When I used to watch that metal show years ago, hasn't been on in like 15 years.
With Eddie Trunk.
With Eddie Trunk and Jim Florentine and Don Jameson, right?
Yep.
Okay. I wasn't too thrilled with the way that they handled stuff. And Jim Florentine was always big, and please do not jump all over my ass about it. But Jim Florentine was a big fan of these two bands, and I just don't like them. Ghost always pushing the ghost agenda,
No.
or rival sons. Everything was about rival sons this, ghosts that, and it just got to the point where you wanted to say, you know what, Jim, sit down and shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
You know, I
Yeah.
mean, they had great guests, they had great,
yeah.
music and everything else, but it got old.
It did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I see a lot of like YouTubers doing kind of the same thing, you got to mix it up a little bit. That's why it's called Metal Mix.
Yeah.
You're not always going to get the same thing.
Right.
I personally cannot do a round table discussion about a certain band. You know which band I'm talking about, but I'm not going to say what band.
Right.
But I couldn't spend 2 hours talking about this certain band, and their whole album list, and sit there and go on for 2 hours. And it's boring content.
It is, yeah.
If you cannot bring it, and I have friends of mine on my Facebook, I post a video, and it's like I get a few looks, but you, on the other hand, get way more looks and likes and everything else,
On Facebook,
I don't know what that is, guys. I mean, I go to my friends' pages and do all that stuff, and a friend of mine told me, and I went to a concert, or I should say a local show, I told you about a month and a half ago when I was home back in Indiana. The band was made in Chicago.
Yeah.
And they promoted this show. I didn't know 2 days beforehand. Right. Did not know, they were playing local at J.J. Kelly's. I didn't know. So I went, I dressed to the nines and everything else, and I walked in and I'm like, there was nobody there. Yeah. There were 4 other bands that night playing different shows, but I overheard conversation that was going on at another place, that there was barely anybody there for a Saturday night. J.J. Kelly's used to pack them in like you were like this.
Right.
I mean, I had my choice of seats. That's very, very rare. But what I think the problem is a lot of people, and I've heard this, and it's not to down bands or anything of the sort. I really think people are craving original music again. They don't want to hear a tribute band. They don't want to hear a cover band.
Right.
They really want to hear original material.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm not downing Made in Chicago, but guys, I don't know what happened, but I don't know if it got promoted. It was just sad because the staff, there was I would say with the staff and everything, there had to have been less than 60 people in that whole club.
That's
crazy.
We'll
go there. I'll show you.
Yeah.
But there was barely anybody there. Not saying that Made in Chicago wasn't good or great, but it was one of those one-offs that I'm like, wow. I'm like, what is with the club?
Yeah.
They're just not promoting these bands. There's other clubs in the area. There were other things going on. But I really think the bottom line is that people really want to hear original music. I that's my opinion.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And the people like me, I've never been in a band. I almost was in Arizona, but just the timing and everything didn't work out. My friend Bruce, it's just busy.
Yeah.
But my thing is, take a chance on somebody that hasn't made it. There are plenty of us, like myself, and yourself too. You've made music though. You've been in that.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to say is, you don't always have to stick with the same players all the time, guys.
No.
Mix it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Get somebody that has a social media background, wants to do originals, and can bring it. I could bring it. He could bring it. I know a lot of musicians that can.
Yeah.
Take a chance on somebody unknown, because I'm going to tell you something. When you go with the names that have been around the music scene in, Northwest Indiana, there's a lot of, talk about some of them, know, and I know who to talk to and who not, or to stay away from, and I'm like, even back then, I'm like, I can out-sing him, I could do this, I could do that. Right. But the thing is, if you want to have something fresh, you want to have original ideas, try to find people that have never been in a band or have experience, but give them the exposure.
Yeah.
You know, it's
absolutely.
the same old shit.
Yeah, it is.
It's the same, like the Motley Crue tribute bands that have been there, done that. Same old situation. And I don't even listen to Crue anymore.
Right.
That's just one band I don't listen to.
Yeah, I stopped listening to them after Dr. Feelgood.
That's about around the time I started kind of, you know, same with Aerosmith. I told you I only like Draw the Line and Toys in the Attic, only certain
the older
songs.
stuff. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
It's just that's just what it is.
Yeah.
I know we're kind of going off topic, but I think these are conversations that need to be said.
Yeah, need to be addressed.
And I will go into depth more later on in later episodes about this. But these are just touch points to what I'm trying to say.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
But those two record labels are still bringing it. I think Combat is still doing some things too.
Which I didn't know that because I thought Combat died like back in the 90s.
Yeah, I they still have some bands. I think Napalm is another one.
Okay.
Napalm is still around. The major,
Napalm's
yeah,
still
the
around,
major labels aren't really. Raining Phoenix is another one because there's bands like Beast in Black and Halloween
Right.
that are signed to Raining Phoenix.
Okay,
But other than that, I mean, most of the labels are overseas, and they're not the major players like Atlantic,
Well,
Geffen, you know,
it
Elektra.
all depends on the genre too.
Well, yeah, a lot of them don't have metal on their.
When you're speaking of like bands from Europe, you know, there's Season of Mist. I can't think of any other. Season of Mist is the big one that comes to mind because I listen to a lot of pagan black metal. So Season of Mist is a big one, and they put out a lot of good stuff. So
Is that your band? No, that's not your band.
No.
That's Frozen Mist.
yes.
How did I get that mixed up? I don't know, but you know.
Well, thanks for the plug.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. He's done a lot of, you know, you've had what? How many bands have you been in?
I've been in a few. Mostly mine, all created by me. I started out in '94, and then, had that one. I don't know. I had about 4 or 5.
Now, I know some of the videos are available on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
Okay, which bands? Frozen Mist and.
Yeah, Frozen Mist and my solo project Dark J for the most part. I had a couple for Maisie and a couple side projects. Mournful Cries, Wet Mist was more of like an industrial, instrumental type of thing, experimental. I didn't really dibble-dabble
with
too much in that.
stuff.
Yeah. But,
okay.
And then I started one years ago in 2015, but killed that and then brought it back as something completely different.
Right.
Forest Wind, so.
Okay, and then you do the adventuring channel.
Yeah, yep.
You do that up, you know, in different parts in Hughesville and the surrounding area.
Yeah, just around PA.
PA.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't think we got anything more to cover today. It was kind of just one of the things.
I don't think so.
Is there anything else you want to add to 6 Feet Under or confess?
I confess.
I confess that they sound like Skid Row. On that song.
That song, at least.
On that song, on the other track that I heard, it was way better.
Yeah.
I don't think that this was it was good, but it wasn't something. You'll
Right.
always remember it as a Monkey Business type of song.
Yeah.
There ain't no business like monkey business. That's danger though.
Yeah.
But anyways, yep. So let's end this video, shall we? If you you're gonna do those hand signs, right?
Maybe.
If you happen to like this video, please give it a what?
Thumbs up.
Push that notification bell. Share it with anybody who you think might like our content. And subscribe to our channel.
Yeah.
We'd like to thank the following: Facebookers, Instagrammers, and Threaders, TikTok Around the Clock crew. You know who you are with my rock and rollers, our rock and rollers.
Yes.
Doing it all and making comments and taking names. And last but not least, our YouTube followers or subscribers are actually growing.
Yeah.
Believe it or not.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I responded back to Mike. Mike, if you're watching Original Guitars from Nuclear Assault, I responded back. Me and Dark J did. So I'd like to touch base with you, man.
Yeah.
You sound like a really cool dude. I'd like to know your history on, your nuclear assault days.
Yeah, the
and
beginnings.
the beginnings. Yeah, he's going back to like 84.
Yeah.
He remembers Metal Church from way back when.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was awesome to hear from him.
Definitely.
Same with Chris from Majesty. So
Yep.
we're going to cover that in a later episode. Probably in the
Absolutely.
next couple of days. We're going to cover that because
Yeah.
he was a really nice guy, and I was like totally blown away.
Yeah.
I love when they drop in and say, "Hey, I've been watching," and yeah, it's absolutely wonderful.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
let's end this video, shall we?
Do it.
Always what? Look good, always do good, always do your best, be your best, whatever you do in life, because what? We love you. That's right. 2, smell good. You're going to do it. Right? Don't be a rankin', skankin'. Ready?
Haters to the back of the line!
Stand on your own twos. I told that some bitch off today.
Yes.
Stand on your own twos. Told her to keep the drama for your mama.
Yeah.
And stay out of people's fucking business.
Beeswax.
Right?
What did you say?
Beeswax.
Biznatch.
Biznatch. And 3, chains hanging. Till tomorrow's video, guys. All the best. We love you.
Yes.
Take care. See you on the next one.
Take care.
Cheers.